This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Marjorie Taylor Greene never ceases to amaze me at her level of out-of-touchness. Of her level of not getting it. She is a dum-dum extraordinaire. And she is maybe aside from Donald Trump, the greatest example of a projection artist that we have in Congress or in politics in general. Maybe. I mean, there's a lot of them. There's many, many, many who fill this category. So I hesitate to say that unequivocally, but it is certainly possible. I'm going to play a clip for you here where she's just whining about her job, complaining about the job of being a congresswoman. That it doesn't pay, and she doesn't make enough money now. She loses money. I mean, it's very Donald Trump-esque. Remember, Donald Trump said he was going to donate his salary every single year. He didn't. His tax return showed that. He's a liar. The same thing with her, though. I mean, she has never said she's going to donate her salary, but she's whining about the money. She's whining about the time. She actually has the temerity to complain that it's a year-round job. That she's not able to be a regular person. That people come up to her in public and say crazy things. It's all, even for her, remarkable that she would sit in front of a camera with a microphone attached to her or in front of her face and say these things that would be then broadcast to millions of people to just witness what an unmitigated disaster, liar, and hypocrite that she is. Watch this from the having of concerns, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
The nature of this job, it keeps members of Congress and senators in Washington so much of the time, too much of the time, to be honest with you, that we don't get to go home and spend more time with our families, our friends, all in our district, or maybe just be regular people, because this job is so demanding and it's turned into practically year-round. And for those of us in the House of Representatives, we have to run for Congress every 2 years. So you're practically campaigning nearly the entire time that you're here serving as a representative. So that's just a couple of examples that I can give you that I believe is a recipe for disaster. And that's how people just fall into this social club. I would call it a social club here in Washington, D.C. Now, for me, I have no interest in that. I really don't. And I'll tell you why. Becoming a member of Congress has made my life miserable. I made a lot more money before I got here. I've lost money since I've gotten here. I have people come up to me and say crazy things to me out of the blue in public places that they believe because they read it on the internet or saw it on some news show about me. So it's not a life that I think is like something that I enjoy because I don't enjoy it, but I'm committed to this job because I believe in it.
What do you do with that? What do you do with that? She has the detachment from reality so severe that she says people read things on the internet and get swept up in believing them, a la space lasers and QAnon.
Didn't you also say around that period that you had been a follower of QAnon conspiracy theories and you had rethought this and you were no longer influenced by the group?
Well, like a lot of people today, I had easily gotten sucked into some things I'd seen on the internet.
That 9/11 was a hoax, that these horrific school shootings that have happened all across the country month after month after month after month, that they're hoaxes. They believe those things, and they come up and say crazy things to her. Are people coming up to her and talking about Jewish space lasers? What is she talking about? And that's just one piece here. I mean, she's whining about the every 2 years. We're constantly campaigning because our terms are only 2 years. Take it up with the founding fathers, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Take it up with the Constitution of the United States, the document to which you swore an oath, the document that you claim to revere, the Constitution. Because we can't just magically make your term 4 years. If you want that, God forbid, run for president. If you want a 6-year term, God forbid, run for the United States Senate. What do you expect us to do for you that your term is 2 years long? And then the piece de resistance, not a French guy, sure I butchered that, that your job is year-round? That it's year-round? Imagine what a Republican would say if someone who works at McDonald's or at a car dealership or whatever was to say, oh, man, my job, it's year-round. I just don't like it. I'm not as happy as I should be. What do you think they would say? They would say, suck it up, Buttercup, shut your mouth and do your job. But not Marjorie Taylor Greene. She gets to whine. My job's not part-time. It's a full-time job. It's year-round. Oh, the horror. Come on. Becoming a member of Congress has made my life miserable. I would dare say your life was miserable before you became a member of Congress. The job didn't do it for you, Marjorie. It's so demanding, your job. Shut up. You get paid nearly $200,000 a year, $175,000 or so. So shut up about how bad your life is while millions of Americans work their asses off, their fingers to the proverbial bone, in a year-round job, not making even half or a third of what you make. It keeps us in Washington. You mean where your job is? Again, the humanity of it all. It is tone deaf. These people who claim to care about everyday Americans who are working hard, patriots, complain about their cushy jobs. Listen, even when I worked for the United States Senate, we used to laugh at the people who worked at the House because members of the House, they don't work on Fridays, they don't work on Mondays. It's a Tuesday through Thursday job. And she's sitting here complaining while nearly making $200,000 a year. Gross. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can mix it up in the comments. I welcome you there. You can also leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. You can absolutely email me as well, daily at Dollemore.com. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for tuning in while I was out and Brittany Page was co-hosting for me, not co-hosting, but guest hosting for me. We co-host a podcast, a twice weekly show called I Doubt It. I would invite you. You can subscribe wherever you find podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. It's everywhere. And I'd love to see you on social media. I am at Dollemore on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Also, by the way, speaking of Brittany Page, go subscribe to her channel. A lot of people were like, I had no idea you had a channel. Brittany Page, after she subbed for me when I was recovering from colon cancer surgery, started her channel. After that, we started her channel. There was people were like, you should have your own channel. We did that. Go subscribe to her channel. There will be a link below. This is the screenshot of the page. She does something very different than what I do here. Not quite as over the top, as it were. A lot more in her style, thoughtful, reflective, and covering very, very important issues. If you appreciate the work I do, please consider supporting me. Click the join button below, become a channel member for $2 a month, or click on over to patreon.com/IDoubtIt podcast. I love you guys. I'm so happy to be back. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.